Astral. How you doing? How you doing, Jay?
Hey, really good, really good. Yeah, I want to say big shout out to the Comic Chat Army. Great to be here with you. Great to be here with you too as well, Cody.
Well, thank you. So, tell us, what was the inspiration behind this book?
Oh my gosh. So it's been going for the series Astral. It's been in my head for quite a while now. I mean, elements of it go back probably 20 years, but it probably started to gel maybe about 8-10 years ago. I started to put all the elements in my head together into a story, and really interested in a lot of the big sci-fi franchises. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, a big Star Trek fan, Terminator fan, Aliens, also Blade Runner, and as well Indiana Jones. And I want to do something like that, but what I found about those series is there wasn't a whole lot of humor in them, maybe. So I'm kind of humorous guy. I like jokes and stuff. So I thought, why not do a sci-fi story, maybe like an alien invasion story, but lace it with humor. And that's kind of the defining characteristic of the Astral series is the humor.
All right, and you're working on the 4th book right now, correct?
Yeah. So we came out with Astral Genesis. This is the first one. Published that in 2018. Then late 2019 was Astral Evolution. We're Kickstartering the 3rd book now, Astral Alliance. And that Kickstarter is going to launch this coming week, September 2020 to October 2020. And of course, these things are all pipelines. So I'm currently writing. I'm the writer, creator, producer of the series. So I'm currently writing the 4th installment, which is called Astral Vengeance.
Oh, nice. And these are all graphic novels. They're not issues?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Let me explain that a little bit. So I'm also a big fan of independent comics. I like a lot of the series like I don't know if you're familiar with She at the Tower of All That Is Known. That's a Comics Tribe publication. Ryan Lindsay, Tyler James on that one. Big fan of White Ash as well. Terra Olympus, Stellar Odyssey, Patriotica. That's Ron Z doing that one. Section Zero Trekker. And so I wanted to do something along those lines, but I was a big fan of that series. So I thought, what better way than to bring together like a ragtag bunch of misfits to try to fend off an alien invasion. I thought that would be ripe for humor. Right, so that's kind of the core of the series.
All right. And how many graphic novels are you going to do with it? Like, how far do you plan on taking the story? How many issues?
Right, so that's a good question. So right now we're focused on the first trilogy, and of course I'm writing the 4th installment. That is set to kick off like a 4th book, but in a 2nd trilogy. And then if all goes well with that, if we see good sales on that, then I would maybe proceed to like a 3rd trilogy. So perhaps 9 books total. So we'll definitely have 3 out, 3 more books most likely coming, and then maybe 3 more. But to the point of issues in story arcs, that's where I think there's a lot of value in Astral. And you asked me about that before. A lot of people are comic book collectors, but you don't get a lot of story in a single comic book. They're like 20 pages maybe. So I was kind of talking to people at comic book conventions and what's the format that you prefer, and try to get an idea what the fans want. And most fans said that a lot of times they wouldn't even buy individual issues. They just wait because they know the big comic companies like Marvel, DC, Dynamite, that they publish single issues, but then they know a trade's coming, right? A TPB is coming. So they'll wait for that. They'll buy that. So I figured, I want to give people the best value as well. Comic books, these days, they're $4, $5 a piece. My graphic novels are like 128 pages. That's about the equivalent of 6 comic books. So if you would be buying those at like $4 a piece, you're talking about like $24, $25, $5 a piece. That's like $30. But you can get something like, let me show off the books here. Astral Genesis and Astral Evolution, the soft covers go for like $20. So it's a much better value. Plus, you're getting complete story arcs, which I think are much more satisfying than maybe like the 20 pages you're going to get in an individual comic book, right?
Right. And where can people pick these up at their local comic shops or request them?
Yeah, I mean, we're in some individual independent comic shops throughout Florida. So, yeah, you have to call ahead and find out. We can certainly work with any independent comic shops in the area that people are in to get the books. I'm happy to ship them. Or, you can buy direct on online, like Amazon.com's got them. If you're an eBay person, we get them on eBay. And if you go to astralgenesis.com, there's a link in the menu there for buy books, and you can click the link to buy books, and it goes to my Pet Piranha sales website, and we have the books for sale there as well. Now, that's for the first two. Obviously, in the next month, we have the Kickstarter coming up, so it's just essentially a pre-order. We're just about finished with the book right now, so folks can essentially pre-order the third book on there, or you can order all three. We'll have the entire trilogy, the first trilogy, which I call the Thrilogy, right? A little marketing tactic there. We'll have all three. You can order all three together, so people who may not be familiar with the first two books, can catch up. And what I'll do is I'm planning to ship out, since we already have the first two books printed, I'll ship those out right after the Kickstarter so people can get reading on those. 'Cause it's a lot of pages. I mean, the entire trilogy is 333 pages, right? So it's a lot of pages. So you get started on the first two books, and then when we ship the third one, Astral Alliance, sometime next year after we print it, you'll be all set to go read the third one.
All right, cool. Do you plan on taking all three of them and putting them in one, like, massive trade?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Probably so. Yeah, maybe call it like the Astral Omnibus or something like that. It would be a pretty thick book. It's pretty expensive to print books that are that many pages, that thick, because with all the back matter and all the extras that I always put in the back of the books, you're probably talking about coming up on 400 pages for something like that. But it's an intriguing idea, and that's something that if we get enough interest around it, I might decide to Kickstarter that. So that might be something that if we get enough people willing to pre-order it, yeah, I would probably consider doing it. We'd have to sell down, of course, on the individual graphic novels a bit, but yeah, no, that's definitely something I would consider. Good question.
Like a limited collector's edition.
Yeah, and actually we kind of have those already as well. And I think I was showing you earlier. I'll see if I can turn to some of the variant covers that we have. So like for Astral Evolution, we got a few variant covers done by, the homage to She-Hulk #1 was done by Bill Walco. This one here is CB Zane. He's also been on Kickstarter with Into the Suck. So that's a good one, right? And then let's see, there's a couple more here. I can't believe we got this one here. The one here I'm pointing to here, that's Jerry Ordway. He actually did us a variant cover for Evolution. And this one here was done by our interior artist, Ariel Medell. He did that one for us. So we do have a lot of, and those will all be on the Kickstarter as well. You can order those variant covers. We do have a lot of collectible limited edition variant covers, limited to 100, 200, in some cases 300 copies. And a lot of them, like the Bill McKay, which I showed you before, it's at the back of this one. That one's just about close to being sold out. That one's on the lower here, the lower part. That's Bill McKay cover. That one for Genesis, I only have a few of those left, but they're still being offered on the Kickstarter.
All right, great. And what kind of stretch goals do you offer on there?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that.
What kind of stretch goals do you offer on the
I mean, we got so much stuff. So let me run through you what we have as far as items in addition to the books. We've got bookmarks, stickers, mini prints, trading cards. I think I might have even sent you a set of trading cards. I don't know if you got those or not, but
yeah.
We got 36 trading cards that you can get a full set of those. You got magnets, posters, T-shirts. The Astral T-shirt, I'm wearing one right now, so it's Astral shirt. You can pick that up. Got Pet Piranha shirts as well. That's a really neat logo. But we also have custom art commissions. So Fernando Ruiz, who did one of our variant covers, he did Archie versus Predator, and he did an homage cover for us for that one, for Astral Alliance. Check that out. That's really cool. But he's doing art commissions as rewards. Also Bill Walco as well, who, Bill has frequently done. I think Bill's had a variant cover on every Astral book that we've had. So he did 2 variant covers this time, one for Fantastic Four 232 and Action Comics #1, which that one's probably going to sell out pretty quick because there's a lot of Action #1 homage collectors. But those guys are doing art commissions, and then we also have original cover art and design art. So I did some design art, some storyboarding. We have Brad Geiger, who did a special variant cover, and I have original art for that. I've got original artwork, cover art for Bill Walco's covers, so that'll be up. And then, of course, we have a bunch of Kickstarter exclusives as well, stuff that you can only get on Kickstarter, and that we usually do that. So lots of stuff.
Cool. Could you tell us what's the pros and cons about doing a Kickstarter? Because this is your third one. You're kind of, I would say a veteran Kickstarter.
I mean, I consider myself to be hardly a veteran. There are people out there who I respect and look up to very much. Certainly, one of those is Tyler James in Comics Tribe. He's done a bunch, but Ron Z's done a bunch. CB Zane's done a bunch. SK's done a bunch with his Terra Olympus and other stuff that he's done. I mean, we're talking dozens. Those guys have done dozens of Kickstarter. This is my third one. So yeah, I know my way around the block, but I'm certainly not maybe in the league with those guys that have done dozens. Pros and cons. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how many people you have working on it. I have a small team, so for us, it's probably a little bit more work than people that maybe have more resources than we do. It's a lot of work to create all the images and graphics and set it up and you got to plan everything. So maybe a con is maybe all the planning, all the time that has to go into it. But if you get organized, I think Tyler's got a good. Tyler James has a good learning system with his Comics Tribe. Comics launch. He's got Kickstarter plan in there. So I'd say definitely look him up, follow that. I did. It certainly works for me. So if you can get organized, it's not that much of a con. The pros, I mean, to me, as we're here talking, even over the internet here, you can see that we've been able to get more connected with fans, and with the bug going around, a lot of conventions being canceled now, over the internet is really the only way at this point we can connect with fans. So I like to do that. Kickstarter has also gotten better about that, about more facilities, more ways to connect with fans. So one of the biggest pros for me on a Kickstarter is that I get to connect with the fans, which, without the conventions this year, that's something I've really been missing is, that personal touch. Plus, it gives you a chance to see how much interest you have, build up some funds for your printing, which is what we're doing. We don't Kickstarter the books themselves, the production of the books. We just Kickstarted the printing, right? So lots of pros there. To involve, these other artists like Bill Walco and Fernando Ruiz, it's really a team effort. And so the camaraderie, I mean, it's like a big party for a month. I guess that's the way I describe it. So it's just a lot of fun,
All right. Let's see. What cons did you have planned before the current world events?
Oh, yeah, well, a lot. I mean, I started doing conventions, many years ago as an attendee. Started exhibiting at cons probably about 3 years ago when we were coming out with Astral Genesis. So built up from there, and we've done, and I usually partner with my exec producer, Lauren Lee, to do the conventions. But we built up, probably started out 3 or 4 a year, but we're probably doing close to a dozen a year. And so I had a whole bunch planned this year. I think I got like 4 conventions in this year before everything shut down after March. So January 1, February another one, March maybe 2. But yeah, I had conventions planned for the rest of the year. Had like at least one a month, so quite a few. I know there's people that do more than that, but that's a pretty full schedule for me. Usually about a dozen have been exhibiting at in recent years.
Do you only stay in Florida, or do you?
Well, yeah, primarily Florida. The local scene is actually worked out the best for me, believe it or not. I think there's a lot to say about, believe it or not, the smaller, medium-sized shows. You can get a lot more exposure. You do the bigger ones. We've done MegaCon before. The issues there is, you're competing with celebrities. There's 500 people in Artist Alley. It can get hard for people to even find you, even if they're looking for you. You just get lost in the sea of Artist Alley, right? And I think the last time we were at MegaCon was a couple of years ago. It's a funny story. Jeff Goldblum was there, and Jason Momoa was there. And between the two of those guys, it was like a 1-2 punch, and nobody had any money left because it's like $100 for an autograph, and it's like $100 for a photograph with him. But I can't be too hard on him because I'm a big fan of Jeff Goldblum. So I went and took a photo with him and got his autograph. So I'm part of the problem as well. But yeah, no, it's just, the big conventions, it's tough to find individual people, even if you're looking for music get lost in the sea. And with the celebrities, it can kind of suck the money. But I think I like the smaller ones, the medium-sized ones. Daytona Beach is great. Tom runs that one. DeLand is great. Lake City, Infinity Con, it's been great as well. Because I think there's more of a chance to connect more one-on-one with the people. Like I said, I'm a big people person, so it's all about the people for me and that personal connection. Shake hands well, and we can do this in the post-bug thing, like the Demolition Man wave, right? But connecting as much as possible, signing personally, autographing and signing books for people, listening to them. What do they want? I know a big part of the Kickstarter we're doing here in September and October of this year, 2020. Was, I queried a bunch of our fans, longtime fans that started with Genesis and some people that picked up with Evolution, and what did they want, try to personalize it for them. Oh, we want more Kickstarter exclusive stuff. Oh, we like bookmarks, we like stickers, whatever. Oh, we want personal art commissions. So that's not a lot of stuff I've done in the past, but I decided to do it this time because, again, it's that more what do you want and try to personalize it, for those fans. So that's a big part of the convention scene for me, is getting that personal contact and talking to folks and finding out their likes and wants and needs.
All right. Well, if you're in the Florida area, guys, and you just happen to run into Jay, pick up a book and tell him, hey. I guess, what books are you reading in the indie comics now?
Oh gosh, well, like I said, I'm so busy with Astral, it's tough for me to do it. But like I said, I mentioned a few before. That hardcover that came out, the die cut cover, She, by Ryan Lindsay and Comics Tribe, Tyler James. I've read that. I think that's great. Big fan of White Ash. Big fan of Terra Olympus and Patriotica. Salvagers, Bob Sally, that's another series I really like and I've read in the past. Section Zero, Trekker, all of these things, Stellar Odyssey. Those are my favorites, and that's what I read. And if anybody is listening to this interview and is on Kickstarter, you'll recognize those names because those are all big Kickstarter projects. And you can rest assured that if you're a fan of those projects, as I am, and I've pledged those projects and I've backed those projects, you'll also be a fan of Astral because we're very much in the same vein as those titles and those very respectable, in my opinion, creators. Okay, and
I guess that's about all the time we got for now, Jay. Is there anything you want to tell the people before we go?
Well, yeah. So if you're listening to this and it's within the next month, mid-September to mid-October 2020, definitely jump in. We got a lot of great Kickstarter merch and swag for you. So definitely join us there, get a book. Definitely reach out to me. You can contact me. I'm on Facebook, J Magnum. I'm also on Twitter, J Magnum. You can contact me through my website. It's jmagnum@petpiranhaentertainment.com. And a big shout out to the folks that we work with to develop and produce these books. So I work with a company out of Baltimore called Visionary Creative Services, and that's Chuck Selner. And of course, our 3-book artist, Ariel Medell, he's just wonderful. The artwork in these books is just awesome, and he does a terrific job. Victor Nava and Rudy Supicto on inks. Those are great artists, great inking. And then Eric Arciniega and Rovo Yumo on colors. It's an international production. These guys are in Mexico, Europe, Indonesia. I mean, they're everywhere. Big shout out to them. And also, just before we go, these books as well, let me show them one more time. These are award winners. I mean, we picked up awards at the AFA, American Fiction Awards, 2-time winners of the Independent Press Award, Next Generation Indie Book Awards, National Indie Excellence Awards. So, they're being internationally and nationally recognized. So definitely come and pick those books up. But great shout out to the teams that make it all possible, and certainly definitely executive producer Lauren Lee, and to you, Cody, as well. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to Carrie as well. I enjoy watching your review videos and your interviews, so thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.